Wednesday morning, let's rise and shine. Separate your bed from your behind. Tell the stranger sleeping next to you to get the hell out, you've got things to do. Wednesday morning, the week's half done. Try to sober up, it's time to run. There's only 3 days left working from 9 to 5. Then it's party time. Party time. Just a little more work to do. Let's get on up and get the damn thing through. Then we'll get back to numbing our minds.
Yeah. Hump Day. It's finally here. Halfway to the weekends. So let's get after it this morning. Got lots to do. Thanksgiving stuff. Check in on our Week 11 Pigskin Picks after I thoroughly dominated Jean last week. She finished with a 7-7 record. I went 10-4. The lead gets bigger. Hobbies that attract pretentious people. All sorts of other stuff. Some tips for dealing with flu season. As I mentioned, some Thanksgiving stuff. Looking forward to it. Only 2 weeks from tomorrow, man. We're going to be eating turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes. Hell yeah. Mac and cheese, green bean casserole, gravy, all various sorts of pies and desserts. Yeah. Apparently Northern Lights visible in certain areas of the state. If you got snaps of the Northern Lights last night, I know some of my friends were posting them on social media. So if you got pictures, send them to me. I'd love to see them. Go to rockmornings.com for our contact info. You can also download the 95.7 The Rock and the 92.9 The X apps and submit images that way. Also voicemails and videos. So if you've got pictures or videos of the Northern Lights, feel free to pass them along. I'd love to see them. It's always cool. I've never seen them in person. Never, not once. And I'm up. I get up early, man. I'm up at 1 o'clock. You'd think that I'd be able to see them, but nope, never seen them. Not in person, at least, but I have seen a lot of photos. Actually, some friends of mine were traveling back from Georgia last week, I think it was, and when they flew into Minneapolis, they were able to see the Northern Lights as their flight was descending. Took some pictures right there from the airplane. Pretty cool. But I've never physically seen them myself. Never gone outside and been like, oh, snap, there's the Northern Lights. Again, if you got pictures, feel free to send them along to me. I'd love to see them. Looks like mid-50s today with a lot of sunshine. Getting closer to 60, hopefully into the 60s this weekend. Fingers crossed. And then it'll drop down into the 40s again next week. It's bound to happen.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Again, if you got pictures of the light show last night, the Northern Lights, feel free to send them to me, rockmornings.com. Just got some photos from Jared. Said it was out by the Valley View Mall in Onalaska. Nice. Looks like some sort of Star Trek Enterprise type thing going on here, like they're transporting people. Thanks, Jared. Send yours along, rockmornings.com for all the contact info. Would enjoy seeing them. Just got one from Sarah. Let's see what Sarah's got. Shakopee. Oh, yeah, look at that. Green and red and magenta and hell yeah. Can you imagine, like, Cro-Magnon man waking up one night and seeing the Northern Lights and being like, freaking out, trying to throw rocks and sticks at it, figure out what the hell's going on up there? That's got to be terrifying. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Jared. Appreciate it. Feel free to send me your photos. Love to see them. Mega Millions getting closer to $1 billion. Didn't have a winner last night. Oh, yeah. Which is good, because I didn't buy any tickets. My stupid ass didn't buy any tickets. Mega Millions jackpot on the verge of eclipsing $1 billion for the 8th time in the game's history after no ticket matched all 6 numbers last night. The estimated jackpot for Friday's drawing on the 14th now stands at $965 million. Numbers drawn last night were 10, 13, 40, 42, 46, and then the gold mega ball was the number 1. And nobody had all those. Last jackpot was June 27th, so it's been a minute since they had a jackpot winner, and now it's getting closer to that $1 billion mark. $965 million on Friday. The prize, by the way, cash value of $445.3 million, which can be offered as a one-time lump sum, or, of course, the 29 annual payments. Several people winning smaller prizes, obviously, but nobody hitting that big jackpot. The odds of winning the Mega Millions jackpot, by the way, are 1 in 290,472,336, according to the Mega Millions website. That's very long odds. But wouldn't it be nice? Oh, my goodness. That would be awesome. Speaking of being wealthy, this is crazy. I just came across a story this morning. Wealthy foreigners. How many movies are like this? I've seen so many movies. There was Hard Target. Jean-Claude Van Damme was in a movie called Hard Target with Wilford Brimley back in the day. Rich human beings paying a guy for the service of hunting other human beings. Yeah, and apparently this is what was happening in Sarajevo. Wealthy foreigners paid tens of thousands of dollars, or pounds, if you will, to become weekend snipers and shoot civilians during the siege of Sarajevo, according to allegations that are being investigated by Italian authorities. Investigation launched into claims that gun enthusiasts and extremists traveling the war-torn city in the 90s with sniper rifles to pick off terrified Bosnians for, quote, fun. The foreigners allegedly are from Italy, United States, Russia, and elsewhere, accused of paying Serbian forces to take part in the shooting spree during the Bosnian War, motivated by sympathy for the Serbian cause, bloodthirstiness, or a combination of the two, according to investigators. Serbia, of course, denying those claims, but witnesses and Italian investigators claim there was even a price list for targeted killings where foreigners could pay more to shoot children and men who were armed and in uniform. Italians are said to have gathered in the northeastern border city of Trieste and transported to the hills surrounding Sarajevo during the 92-96 siege of the city. War tourists is what they're calling them. And that's effed up, dude. That is seriously effed up. Transportation Security Sean Duffy promising yesterday that if the government doesn't move to reopen soon, flight delays and disruptions that American travelers have experienced so far will be considered, quote-unquote, tiddlywinks. Uh-oh. Can we use that word anymore? Is that a word we use? Duffy delivering his remarks to reporters at O'Hare International Airport in Chicago. Experiencing greater delays and cancellations than anywhere else in the nation. Obviously, Jean just flew out of there, so she knows all too well. They got to get this done before Thanksgiving, right? I mean, we can't be doing this during Thanksgiving. It's going to be a bleep show. We got to figure this out. O'Hare has seen 121 cancellations and 281 delays as of 4 o'clock yesterday. Duffy said, if the House doesn't pass this bill, I think you're going to look at Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as tiddlywinks. It was beautiful. It's going to get much worse than that. Well, that's haunting. His comments days after the FAA began reducing the number of flights going in and out of airports around the country. Travelers fearing for the flights around Thanksgiving that it would be a slaughter, essentially. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not traveling on Thanksgiving on an airplane to go anywhere, because if this doesn't get figured out, it's going to be a serious, serious problem. But the flights getting canceled left and right, and sounds like it's only the beginning. Not good. I was joking about that with Jean before she left. I said, you may get stuck in Europe. You may not be able to come back. I mean, what are you going to do? It's not the flights out of Europe. It's about being able to land in America somewhere. Lerner Airfield. If you get that reference, then we can be friends. Got a text from Cheryl. Said, just a hint of green this morning from Spring Grove, Minnesota. Very nice photos. Red, a lot of red. Really cool with the pine tree in the foreground and the northern lights in the background. Very cool. Yeah, I didn't see any of this. I was just out not too long ago. Somebody also, Ryan, texting in with some pictures just outside of Winona. Thank you, Ryan. Very cool. Northern Lights last night. A lot of people up looking at them. I didn't see any.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Just got an email from Gwen. Said, good morning, Brian. Couple of picks from last night. One from this morning. Looks like the one from this morning has got some purple in it. Very cool. Thank you, Gwen. The more traditional green and red hue to the Northern Lights. Even one with some clouds, and it looks almost like there's a fire behind the clouds in the first picture that Gwen sent me. Thank you, Gwen. Appreciate that. Also got a text from Wendy. Said that the pictures she sent in were from earlier in the evening, sometime around 7, 8 o'clock in Ferryville. And again, with the real traditional green and red lights, Northern Lights visible throughout the area last night for lots of people, except for my stupid ass. Apparently, I went to bed too early. Thanks, Wendy. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Cheryl. Thank you, Jim, who said he saw the Southern Lights. Jim lives in Georgia, so thank you, Jim, for the joke. Dun-dun-tss. Badgers all over Ball State last night.
And not quite a 90-point showing for Wisconsin, but we are absolutely splitting hairs there. Badgers are 3-0 and back-to-back to the final.
Yeah, Badgers now 3-0. Nolan Winter had a double-double. 19 points, 10 rebounds. Number 24, Wisconsin, never trailed in the 86-55 blowout of Ball State last night. They're now 3-0 in the season. They're off until next Monday, the 17th, when they are at home against SIU Edwardsville at 7 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. So no Badger basketball for about a week. That's all right. We got plenty of other stuff to keep us occupied. Week 11, in particular, in the NFL, kicking off tomorrow night with the Jets at the Patriots. That game 7 o'clock on Prime. You know where I'm going to be, right in front of the TV. The beverage in my hand. Chicago is at Minnesota on Sunday at noon, and the Packers will be in New York to take on the G-Men, the Giants, on Sunday at noon. Lions will be in Philly for Sunday Night Football on NBC. Bucks in Charlotte tonight to take on the Hornets. That game tips off at 6 p.m. And the new college football playoff rankings came out last night, the second of the season. Everybody pretty much stayed the same in the top 5. Ohio State remaining number 1, followed by Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Georgia. That rounds out the top 5. The rest of the top 10 are Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon, Notre Dame, and Texas. Congratulations to Milwaukee Brewers manager Pat Murphy. He won the NL Manager of the Year award for the second straight season. The only other NL manager to earn the honor in consecutive years was Bobby Cox when he won for Atlanta in 04 and 05. The AL Manager of the Year is Cleveland's Stephen Vaught, also a repeat winner. He got 17 of 30 first-place votes from the Baseball Writers Association of America. John Schneider from Toronto got 10 first-place votes and finished second, followed by Seattle's Dan Wilson. But Pat Murphy gets the NL Manager of the Year for a second straight season. I'm sure most Brewers fans would much rather have the World Series. After chants of Fire Nico for the last umpteen months in Dallas at Mavericks games, the Dallas Mavericks did just that. They fired Nico, the GM, who traded away Luka to the Lakers and didn't get diddly squat other than maybe fixing the NBA draft so they could get Cooper Flagg He's out in Dallas. Big D. Dallas Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison fired. Announced yesterday he had been, of course, under a lot of scrutiny from Mavericks fans since he traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers back in February, just months removed from the 25-year-old's five-time first-team All-NBA selection, leading the franchise to an NBA Finals appearance as well. People were very unhappy about that. They let their voices be heard. They were taking away their signs, making them turn inside out their T-shirts that said Fire Nico. But you can't stop the chants. You can take away the signs. You can make them turn their shirts inside out. You can kick them out of the game, but you can't silence all those people inside the arena who are chanting Fire Nico every opportunity they get. And that's what Dallas finally just did, was fire Nico Harrison. What an idiot. Trading Luka Doncic. Got like a bag of rocks for Luka Doncic, you big dummy. Speaking of the NBA, they're switching their format again for the All-Star game. We already knew this was going to happen. They're trying to capitalize on the Four Nations popularity from the NHL last season, and they're going with an international style. NBA announcing a new format for the 2026 edition of the NBA All-Star Game, which will be in Inglewood, California at the Intuit Dome. It'll feature 3 teams, 2 made up of players from the U.S. and a third team made up of players from the rest of the world. There will be a round-robin tournament with 12-minute games, and then the top 2 teams will advance to the championship game. There will be 24 players selected for the All-Star Game, 12 from each conference, and they will be selected without regard to position. So you don't need to have 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center. You just pick anybody you want. There's all sorts of other stipulations, but no one cares. The NBA All-Star Game is just not. It's garbage. There's no reason to watch it. It's stupid. Now, if you get the players to give a rat's ass, like they did in the NHL with the Four Nations, maybe people would tune in, but they don't. They don't, and that's fine. But just it's not a watchable product. It's just garbage. But best of luck to you, NBA. I'll be watching something else. So let's see. What do we got? Some Five-Finger Death Punch. Just got a text from Wendy. She said, morning, you can't really see the lights just looking at the sky, but when you take a picture with your phone, amazing. She said it was down in Dresbach at about 5 a.m. this morning. Yeah, that's pretty. Very nice pictures. Thank you very much for sending those in. I appreciate it. A little purpley there. It's a nice dress, very purpley. Pictures of the Northern Lights. People are sending them to me. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I did not see any where I was. When I got up this morning or when I left the building at about 5 o'clock, I didn't see it. I missed out.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Julie. Huh? Julie. Huh? Guess what day it is? Julie. Huh? Julie. Huh? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Anybody? Anybody? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Anybody? Anybody? Mike. Huh? What day is it, Mike? Huh? Woo-hoo! Mike. Huh? What day is it, Mike? Huh? Oh, come on. I know you can hear me. Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's Hump Day.
It's Hump Day.
Hump Day!
Oh, snaps. Hump Day in effect. Weekend right around the corner. Wife out of town for the next couple of days playing Bachelor. Yeah. I got leaves that I got to get up. Got to get these Christmas lights on the house. Get that finished. Got to figure out this truck situation. Could be very busy the next couple of days for yours truly. Excuse me. Bank was closed yesterday, so for Veterans Day, so I didn't get a chance to get any work done on the loan process for this new vehicle that I'm trying to purchase. So I expect some movement on that today, maybe tomorrow. Hopefully by the end of the week, I'll be in my own vehicle instead of driving one of the station vehicles. Yeah. Getting kind of tired of having that thing darkening my doorstep in my neighborhood. Last night, I was, after I got done with some work in the afternoon, I was just kind of bumming around the house, and I watched a movie called Extinction from 2018. It's on Netflix. Stars Michael Pena and Lizzie Kaplan. It's also got Mike Coulter, who, of course, was Luke Cage. And kind of flips the whole Terminator robot android AI thing on its head. I'm not going to give away too much, but at first I wasn't quite sure what was going on. Then I sort of figured it out, and I was right. It's a little plot twist there. But not bad. Watched that, and then watched a little bit of the Bruins game before I went to bed. Tonight, second season finale of The Golden Bachelor on ABC.
Golden girls on the Golden Bachelor. Don't want to see you guzzling wine in a hot tub with a stranger. Mom, is that Nana? The world is gonna see her on the show this fall. Now she's doing liposuction and wearing a Spanx bra. Golden girls on the Golden Bachelor. One of these days, and it won't be long, I hope we don't see your butt in a tiny little thong in the back of a limo, trying not to squeal while your date's getting out his little blue pills. Golden girls on the Golden Bachelor.
Yeah, the second season finale of The Golden Bachelor on ABC tonight. New episode of South Park over on Comedy Central. Speaking of Netflix, a new movie called A Merry Little Xmas, and that's EX, as an ex-wife. Alicia Silverstone and Oliver Hudson divorcing, trying to have one last Christmas together with the kids. Then his new girlfriend shows up.
I love Christmas. The lights, family time. It's awesome. But this year, Christmas might look a little different.
Divorce does not mean that we are not still a team.
Yeah.
Legally, it kind of does.
Santa's little elves are here. You invited Everett's dads?
We have joint custody.
This is our first Christmas apart, but we're still going to spend it together as a family.
Practicing total honesty.
Dad didn't tell you?
He's dating someone.
A Merry Little Xmas on Netflix, starring Alicia Silverstone and Oliver Hudson. Also, the streaming premiere of Freakier Friday today on Disney Plus. Just came out yesterday on DVD, and now you can stream it on Disney Plus. New movie on Amazon today, starring Kevin James and Reacher's Alan Ritchson. Kevin James plays a stay-at-home dad who meets Alan Ritchson and arranges a play date for their sons, which then spirals into chaos. It's called Playdate, and it's a new film on Amazon today. And watch a trailer. Not a big fan of Kevin James, but it looked okay.
Dad's never taken you for pizza?
Jeff's not my dad. He just took me.
Let's go. Hey, stop. Who the hell are you? Who's that guy? Guy who wants to kill you. Who are they? They want to kill you too. Why? Because they think you know. Know what? Get in. Fine. Buckle in, boys. And just let me do my thing.
Playdates, new film on Amazon. Kevin James, Alan Ritchson. Also on TV today, tonight, the new episodes of The Floor, Chicago Med, PD, and Fire, and also a new episode of 99 to Beat. Fallon's got Ben Stiller and Brad Paisley on his program. Howard Jones and Debbie Gibson. Supposed to be on with Kimmel, but I think they're taking the next couple of days off, right? Didn't he have a little teary monologue last night? He was crying about some guy that died. So I don't know if Kimmel's going to be on tonight. I think they said they were taking the next couple of nights off. Stephen Colbert's got Pete Townsend of The Who, along with Jonathan Carl. And Seth Meyers is talking to Ferris Bueller, a.k.a. Matthew Broderick, and Dave Franco. That's what's on the boob tube this evening. Obviously, the Bucks play tonight in Charlotte. Week 11 kicking off tomorrow night. There's some new movies coming out sometime in the future. Betty Boop is now one of those intellectual properties, right? Much like Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse and Popeye the Sailor Man, where they turned them into horror movies. Well, they're doing the same thing with Betty Boop. The movie is going to be called Boop. The official synopsis says, quote, a team of horror podcast investigators break into an abandoned theater to discover the hauntings of the starlet once known as Boop. A simple investigation turns into a horrific bloodbath as they fight to escape the murderous Boop as she is out for revenge. One of the producers says that the movie about Betty Boop will be different from all the other cartoon-turned-killers, saying that Boop's dark history is extremely grim, but this telling allows her to get her power back. It's a true testament to feminism led by a predominantly female team. Okay. So if you enjoyed the Winnie the Pooh killing people movie. What is it, Blood and Honey? Or the Mickey Mouse one, or the Popeye one, then this is for you. Betty Boop, now a intellectual public domain property, and going to be making a film about it called Boop. Also, Jessica Rabbit is getting her own film.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Yeah, her, Roger Rabbit. The guy who created Roger Rabbit in Toontown, Gary Wolfe. The movie based on a book, his book from 1981 called Who Censored Roger Rabbit, said, this guy said in a new interview he recently got the rights back from Disney. Yeah. And he's already got some new projects in the works. One of them, the one that's the most closest to coming to fruition, is Jessica Rabbit as her own movie, and it's going to be live action. It's based on his 2022 book called Jessica Rabbit, Serious Business. Sounds like a prequel focusing on Jessica Rabbit's pre-toon life as an actual human secret agent in the real world. So a Jessica Rabbit movie apparently on the way. Did we need that? Did we want that? I mean, I know it's a popular Halloween costume, but if she's not a toon with Kathleen Turner's voice, do we care? Also, Miss Piggy apparently getting her own movie. A solo movie. Obviously, we've seen a lot of movies involving the Muppets, but still in the early stages over at Disney. But Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone are apparently producing the film, and obviously they'll probably star in it. But Jennifer made the surprise announcement on Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers' podcast recently that they're working on a solo Miss Piggy movie. So, yeah, some new films coming down the pipeline. Just saw the trailer for the new Toy Story movie. The pseudo iPad shows up, so the toys no longer necessary. Not sure if you saw that yesterday, but Black Hole Sun from Soundgarden on the way. Thanksgiving things, we're going to get to some of that. Going to talk about pretentious people and their hobbies. Bad news, happy music later on. And, of course, if you need something, get in touch. rockmornings.com. It's Ozzy.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. On a Hump Day edition. Got some Thanksgiving stuff to get to. Looking forward to it. Deviled eggs. Scotcheroos. Mac and cheese. Green bean casserole. Turkey. Taters. Gravy. All of it. Very much looking forward to Thanksgiving. 2 weeks from tomorrow. Gene, overseas in Europe, had some issues with travel, not just on the way out, but apparently in Europe. Got a text from her this morning, bright and early. I think they're several hours in front of us. Said, missed a train, wrong terminal, leaving for Florence now. Hope things are good there. I said, travel safely. Everything's fine. It's been nice to not get so many emails. Gene is a habitual emailer. Will email 17 times in a day. Mostly nonsensical things that don't apply to me. But for some reason, I get included on them. And so it's been nice to have her gone. I don't have to get those stupid emails that I don't want to get. But apparently experiencing some travel issues, not just here stateside, but also in Europe. Speaking of travel stateside, obviously people are very concerned about the flight delays and the cancellations. Worried about a lack of employees at the airports with the government shutdown. And people getting on planes very nervous. And one pilot is going viral right now because of the speech that he gave before they took off.
I know we probably have quite a few nervous flyers today. It is perfectly understandable. I want to emphasize this aircraft does not move a single inch unless both my co-captain Michael and myself are absolutely certain it's safe to do so. Before I left the house on this trip, my little one has learned the word ice cream, and she made me make sure I promised her to get her ice cream when I get back home from the trip. That being said, nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing unsafe comes in between me and a little girl and her ice cream. I know you guys probably have some similar plans, maybe not tonight, but probably tomorrow afternoon once we get you up for Raleigh. Please feel free to join our Wi-Fi and take care of picking out which place you guys are going to get ice cream, or shoot your friends and family texts about what you guys do on the flight. Should be a really nice day to go flying. We'll get you guys up there safely.
Aww. Delta Airlines pilot making the announcements before departure over the weekend, saying that he understands people are nervous with all the chaos happening at airports. As I mentioned, flight delays and cancellations, and wanted to reassure those people that they were in good hands. Talking about his daughter wanting to go get ice cream, and he said that's the most important thing to him, and nothing comes between that little girl and her ice cream. The clip, over 13 million views, more than 1.7 million likes on the social media platforms that it's on. Apparently, the captain has been identified as Captain Christopher Pennington. Talking on the intercom before the flight took off. Passengers heard laughing in the background, many online praising the message for easing tension. Obviously, any little bit can help this stressful time of year. But that guy going viral for his nice words before the flight took off, trying to reassure passengers. Thankfully, the flight didn't have any problems. He'd hate to say all that and then get up in the air and then like, uh-oh, hit some turbulence, something like that. Oof. Elsewhere in the good news department, Purple Heart. Yesterday being Veterans Day, most of us know what the Purple Heart is. One of the most prestigious awards for a member of the military. Official in Illinois just helped a family of a World War II veteran named James Bennett get his Purple Heart back. James, unfortunately, died at the age of 76 back in 1990. And at the time, he had left the award in a safe deposit box, which was marked as abandoned. And now the Purple Heart Award that James received for being injured in the field of duty has now been reunited with his family. Sounds like it's a pretty common issue as well, that a lot of veterans who earn the Purple Heart will put it somewhere for safekeeping and maybe don't tell family members before they pass away, and so the Purple Heart ends up sort of missing until someone maybe hopefully comes across it.
When I came into office, I went down into our vault and I saw in a display case a Purple Heart. It turns out a lot of people store their military medals in a bank safe deposit box to keep them from being stolen or burnt up in a house fire.
I think I'm just going to display it at home, and I also want to take a picture and send it to all the relatives that are left alive and share it with them too. And I hope that this also encourages other people to look into getting their Purple Hearts from their family members.
The Illinois treasurer, a guy named Michael Frericks, started Operation Purple Heart to help locate and return missing military medals. 17 have been returned so far, with 6 still unclaimed. And the family of this World War II veteran, James Bennett, who lived in Oak Lawn, reunited with his long-lost Purple Heart medal found in an unclaimed safe deposit box. His niece accepted the medal in his honor, saying she hopes others will check if their relatives' medals can be recovered. It's pretty cool, though, that program. We have to do a bit of homework, detective work out there. We work with the media. Chicago Tribune helped us track down some of these families because it's not always so easy. But this guy, finding the Purple Heart medal and then tracking down the family of the veteran who earned the medal and reuniting them with that, and obviously all the memories and everything that come rushing back. So that's really cool. We've got some Thanksgiving stuff to get to. RockMornings.com to get in touch, or download the 2 apps and get in touch with me that way.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
Tonight on the Hallmark Channel, it's Thanksgiving in a small town. She's the beautiful but foul-mouthed author of the beloved holiday classic, Thanksgiving You the Bird. He's a handsome small-town preacher who's so uptight he gets dressed in the dark to avoid seeing himself naked. Starring that actress you've seen on various TV shows, but you'd never know her real name. And also starring a real handsome actor you may recognize as bedpan washer number 3 on General Hospital.
I can take that, nurse.
Thanksgiving in a Small Town. Tonight on the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, going to be a lot of those. A lot of those. Thankfully, as I mentioned earlier this week, my wife, not into movies like that. For the most part. As I mentioned, there's one of those like Lifetime movies that she really enjoys, and it's Holiday in Handcuffs. It's Mario Lopez and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I think. Yeah. I don't have to be subjected to that, though. She doesn't like require my presence while she's watching that film. She knows I have zero interest in watching that one. But there is a few Thanksgiving themed movies or movies that are set around Thanksgiving to put you in the spirit. Obviously not as many as Christmas time. There's tons of Christmas movies out there, but there are a couple of Thanksgiving films, if you will. And Mental Floss put together a list, and there are a couple that they completely whiffed on, that they didn't put on the list, and it's kind of atrocious that they would forget the movies that I'm going to recommend at the end. Their list, of course, includes Addams Family Values, from 1993. That's, I don't know if they're in any sort of ranking, but that was the first one they came up with on their list of Thanksgiving-themed films to put you in the Thanksgiving spirit if you need a little bit of help with that this time of year. Addams Family Values at number 1. Yeah. There's the reenactment of the first Thanksgiving at the summer camp. I guess that's where you could say this all comes into play for the Thanksgiving spirit. A little darker. Obviously on the list, this is a must for any Thanksgiving list when you're talking about movies. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
You're going the wrong way! What? You're going the wrong way! He says we're going the wrong way. Oh, he's drunk. How would he know where we're going?
Yeah.
Yeah, how would he know?
The late, great John Candy, Steve Martin. Steve Martin trying to get home for Thanksgiving. John Candy, obviously, we know the story there. A classic, an all-time classic. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles from 1987. I wouldn't really consider Charlie Brown Thanksgiving a movie, but it did come out in 1973, and if you want to get in the Thanksgiving spirit, you probably should watch it. Nothing wrong with the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Again, from 1973. Yeah, it's been around for a minute. Not as iconic as The Great Pumpkin or the Charlie Brown Christmas, but it's still pretty good. The Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Again, these are some movies that Mental Floss put together in a list of 18 that have a Thanksgiving vibe because they're either set at Thanksgiving or they're about Thanksgiving. Spider-Man from 2002, there was a Thanksgiving scene, right? That wasn't there. There's some Thanksgiving going on in that one. You've Got Mail from 1998.
You've Got Mail.
Yeah. Vaguely remember that one. Was that Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, or was that Sleepless in Seattle? I think I got my... Scent of a Woman, 1992. That, of course, had some Thanksgiving stuff with a kid and going home at holiday break. But the list kind of, it's missing a few. So there's 18 movies on this list. I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of the highlights there that I just read off include Addams Family Values, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, Spider-Man from 2002, You've Got Mail from 98. But 3 movies that they did not put on this list, which are, in my opinion, blatant disregard for actual Thanksgiving. One of them is Thanksgilling, about a turkey that was set to be carved up for Thanksgiving dinner. And he says, not on my watch.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
I mean, it's legitimately about the holiday of Thanksgiving. Okay, maybe it's a cult classic. It's not a major movie release. Maybe it wasn't very good. I'll give you that. But come on, man. You can't throw it on there. Thanksgiving. That didn't make their list of movies to get you into the Thanksgiving spirit. Another one that's an egregious whiff is Pauly Shore and Son-in-Law. Going home with the girl from college to enjoy Thanksgiving at her farm. I mean, there's a bird. He's got to pluck the turkeys off it, the whole 9 yards.
The turkey had a heart attack? I don't know. I never killed anything before.
Yeah. Son-in-Law, again, I get it. Not a very popular movie amongst the mainstream people, but you got to put that on the list of Thanksgiving films. And last but not least, the most egregious of the 3 misses on the Mental Floss list of Thanksgiving movies, Dutch. I mean, Ethan Embry, very young, teaming up with Al Bundy, road trip movie, buddy movie. The whole 9 yards, and all to get home in time for Thanksgiving holiday. So many classic lines, so many great, wonderful scenes. How do you not have Dutch on a list of movies about Thanksgiving?
Nothing burps better than bacon.
Yeah, mental floss, you missed a few. Go back and check your lists, because you missed a couple. You definitely did. Not good. Not good. In other Thanksgiving-related news, Jell-O. Did you see this? There's always room for Jell-O. Jell-O is celebrating its 125th anniversary with some limited edition Thanksgiving molds. So a lot of people have a mold, a Tupperware piece that they already use to make a Jell-O mold for the holidays. Well, they're calling them the No Thanks molds because they're shaped like 3 Thanksgiving foods that a lot of people have problems with. Number 1 is Brussels sprouts. Number 2 is cranberry sauce. And number 3 is pecan pie. They're not doing weird flavors. They're just selling the molds. These are silicone molds that are shaped like the cranberry sauce in the can. Shaped like Brussels sprouts, round little balls of green. And then pecan pie. The No Thanks molds each cost $5, so they're pretty cheap. It comes with a kit that includes a box of Jell-O mix. The cranberry mold, of course, comes with a cranberry Jell-O because they already make that flavor. The Brussels sprouts, they're not making a Brussels sprouts flavored Jell-O. It's just lime. And then the pecan pie mold comes with orange Jell-O. They're available exclusively at Walmart.com. While supplies last, they went on sale yesterday. I don't know if any more are available. I didn't check this morning, but if you really want to have some lime-flavored Brussels sprouts-shaped Jell-O for your holiday Thanksgiving gathering, go to Walmart.com and best of luck to you.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
After week 10, I finished 10-4. Gene went 7-7, gained absolutely no ground. In fact, I put more distance between the two of us with our Pigskin Picks as we get closer and closer to the end of the season, and my eventual victory and my celebratory seafood paella. I'm very excited. Not so much for the paella itself, but for the misery it's causing Jean. I know she's on vacation, not thinking about it right now, but when the final verdict comes in and I win this competition and she has to make my seafood paella finally, 13 to 14 years after she promised to make it for me before I went in for surgery, it's gonna be delightful. The misery that she has to suffer. I will feed on that more than I will enjoy the seafood paella itself. Week 11, of course, kicks off tomorrow night, and we made our Week 11 picks before she left for Europe. Also made our Week 12 picks because she ain't coming back next week. Maybe not even the week after that. We'll see. Thursday night football is the Jets at the Patriots. I, of course, took my New England Patriots. They're on a heater right now. She took the Jets. I mean, look, the Jets have surprised a few people here and there, but they just got rid of a bunch of their best players, and they're not going anywhere. So this is an easy layup. The Patriots at home against the Jets. I don't see the Jets having a chance. A snowball's chance in hell. Let's see. Sunday morning, I think this is the Madrid game, right? Washington at Miami. That game in, I believe, Madrid. I took Miami to win that and upset the Washington Commanders. The Miami beat the Bills last week. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. I'm not quite sure why I went with Miami, but we'll see what happens. Gene took Washington. We are both on the Falcons to beat the Carolina Panthers. I'm looking at the Bills to have a bounce-back game against Tampa Bay. Gene's taking the Bucs in that one. Bills at home on Sunday. Going to be cold up there. Tampa Bay coming off the loss to New England. Still without a bunch of their offensive players. I think Buffalo looking to get right and keep pace with the Pats in the AFC East. I took the Chargers over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Gene went with the Jags. We're both on the Vikings to beat the Bears. That may be that may be the dumbest pick of the week right there. Yeah, we both took Minnesota at home against Chicago, and honestly, Chicago looks pretty damn good. Got to be honest. Both on the Packers to beat the Giants on Sunday. That should be a no-brainer. I've got Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers bouncing back after that horrific performance last weekend to take on the Bengals, who are still waiting for Joe Burrow to return Jean loves the Bengals helmets so much that she picks them every week, which doesn't always work out for her. So we differ there. We're both on Tennessee to beat Houston. Also, we both have San Fran over Arizona. The late Sunday games. Gene took the Seahawks to beat the Rams. I'm all over the Rams on that one. I think the Rams are going to dominate the Seahawks. Both on Baltimore to beat Cleveland. I took Denver at home against Kansas City. Mile High Stadium, late Sunday afternoon, thin air. Gene thinks the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win. And then we also have a difference of opinion when it comes to Sunday Night Football. I am taking Detroit in Philly. Philly squeaking out 10 points in Green Bay against the Packers. Short week for them. I know they're back at home, but Detroit's just putting up massive amounts of points right now. So I think Detroit goes into Philly and beats them handily on Sunday Night Football. And then Monday Night Football, we're both on Dallas because they're taking on the Raiders. It has more to do with the fact that it's the Raiders than it's Dallas. But Week 11, our Pigskin Picks. We'll see how we do next week. We'll take a look at the outcome on Tuesday as we get closer and closer to the finish of the season. Up for grabs is some seafood paella, or I got to grow my hair out for 2 months and then be miserable because I got the stupid bald spot, which I'm mad about because no one told me that it was there. Such is life. Shinedown in a few minutes, and we'll talk ways you can improve your immune system this time of year to help deal with the flu and COVID and all that other crap.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
Looking to lose weight fast? Move over Keto and Atkins because now there's the flu diet. Eat whatever you want because guess what? You won't keep it down.
I lost 8 pounds in 2 days thanks to the flu diet.
Got a fever and chills? Bonus calorie burn. And best of all, it's free. Just shake hands with that one coworker who swears it's just allergies. The flu diet, because nothing tastes as good as skinny feels.
Buddy of mine is getting over flu. Apparently had flu and COVID at the same time. Ugh. That doesn't sound fun. Thankfully, he's on the mend, but it is flu and cold season. Some tips from doctors on how to boost your immune system as we get ready for the holidays and beyond. Number 1, optimize your nutrition diversity. Are you trying to tell me that the bag of chips I just ate is not good for me? Is that what you're trying to hurt me? They say you should eat the rainbow. Taste the rainbow. No, different rainbow. A variety of fruits and vegetables better than just eating a whole lot of one type. Yeah, it's great to eat apples and bananas, but maybe some lettuce, some red peppers, something yellow, something orange. Protein, healthy fats, also important. So just a diverse diet in general is probably good for you, helping your immune system get boosted to optimize your nutrition. Tips from doctors to help you battle the flu and cold season. Try to boost your immune system. Take it easy, get some sleep. This one I can relate. Immune system far more likely to struggle if you're worn out, stressed out, all that stuff. Even one night of bad sleep can lower your immune response by up to 70%. Dude, what do you do with a whole week of bad sleep? Do you even have an immune system? Does it just like pack its bags and go, see ya, I'm out, deuces? Yeah, so don't skimp on the sleep. Take some naps too if you need them. Exercise when you're not sleeping is another thing that doctors recommend to help boost your immune system as we get ready for flu and cold season. Obviously, it helps to boost your immunity by lowering your stress hormone levels in the body. Helps with the inflammation, makes immune cells more active. So some exercise, also taking it easy, getting some sleep, optimizing your nutrition diversity. They say that you should also consider taking supplements and vitamins. Yeah, take your Fred Flintstones. Don't expect them to be magic, however, right? Not just going to work, do all the things that you don't do. They should complement, not replace your healthy lifestyle habits. And last but not least, socializing. The bonding hormone oxytocin has been shown to lower stress levels, reduce inflammation, boost immune function. Obviously, you want to steer clear of anybody that's sick. But those are 5 tips from doctors on how to help boost your immune system as we get ready for flu and cold season. You You could also put potatoes in your socks, apparently.
This remedy really works, so hear me out. Get a potato, cut it in half, get 2 slices out of it, put it beneath each foot, and cover it with a sock overnight. The next morning, when you remove the sock, you're going to see an imprint on the bottom of the foot, which is totally fine. And then you're going to see the potato slices, which are disgustingly dark. That's because the toxins are removed, but your child feels so much better.
Yeah, that was from a couple of years ago, I think. The flu socks, right? Potato socks. I'm not putting potatoes in my socks. Not doing it. Just not going to happen. No thanks. I mean, to each their own, but I know there's some kind of like pads that you can put in your socks at night and supposedly sucks all the toxins out. You wake up and these things are black as night. Got all your grossness in there. Yeah, now that my psoriasis, now that I'm taking Skyrizi and my psoriasis is cleared up, my wife is talking about going and getting a mani-pedi. She wants us to go as a couple and get a mani-pedi. There's a new place that just opened up right by our house. They were working on that thing for like 7 months. That poor bastard. I don't know if it's the boyfriend or the husband of the girl that runs the place or owns it or whatever, but he was in there every night when I would come to work at like 1:30. I'd be like, dude, that is a labor of love right there. I mean, best of luck to him and all that, but my wife wants to go and get our nails did. So we'll see if that works. I don't know about the hands. I'm not too worried about that. But the feet thing, yeah. Because even though the psoriasis is cleared up on my feet, on the tops of my feet where it was really, really bad, scaly and nasty and itchy and all that and gross and disgusting looking and all that stuff, the nails are still a problem. And I don't know how I feel about somebody messing around my foot nails, my toenails. I mean, those things they're gross. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe for Christmas. We have talked about going to one of these like all-inclusive spa weekend things where they like do the mud baths and massages and champagnes and stuff like that. They're very expensive, FYI. Looked into it. And yeah, it was for 2 days and like 2 nights at one of these places. It was about the same amount of money we spent on a week in New Hampshire with all the driving and the gas and the hotels and everything else. It was very expensive. Looks like it'd be hella relaxing, but I don't know if I'm going to be spending that kind of money on a 2-day, 2-night type thing. But maybe this mani-pedi thing, I don't know. We'll see. I've got a friend of mine who goes and gets them, and he swears by it. He says he loves it. I just don't know if I want people messing around my toenails. Bring in some kind of grinder. No thanks. I think I'm good. I might call a timeout on that play. RockMornings.com. If you want to get in touch with me, you can download the 95.7 The Rock and the 92.90X app. Submit voicemails, pictures, and images. Thanks again to everybody who submitted photos of the Northern Lights from last night. It was cool to see those this morning. I totally whiffed on that. Didn't see any of it. Not sure if you'll be able to see it again tonight, but at least last night there was some really good pictures coming in from people. Cheryl and Sarah and Ryan and Rudy and Wendy and 2 Wendys. We had 2 Wendys, a Chris. All texting in. Gwen sent me an email as well. Thank you very much to all of you for showing me your pictures of the Northern Lights. Looks like mid-50s today, maybe getting into the 60s by Friday and Saturday.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Happy hour day.
Ready to get this party started?
Because it's always happy hour somewhere.
Every hour is happy hour.
Sounds like a party, baby. Ooh, yeah.
National Happy Hour Day on a Wednesday. All right, we'll take it. National Happy Hour Day. Drink specials, food specials, post-work conversations. Yeah. Happy Hour Day. For me, that's like 11 a.m. Most people, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock. I'm more of an 11 a.m. guy. That's what happens when you work the hours I do. It's also National French Dip Day. That would be a delicious sandwich to have at lunch with the au jus on the side. National Pizza with the Works except Anchovies Day. So everything except for anchovies on your pizza tonight. Also, Chicken Soup for the Soul Day. So National Happy Hour Day, French Dip Day, pizza with everything except for anchovies, and Chicken Soup for the Soul Day. All these weird sort of ancillary holidays. The big one, of course, Thanksgiving, coming up in 2 weeks from tomorrow. Got a text from Ryan. was talking about some tips from doctors to help boost your immune system during the flu and cold season. He said, I'm disappointed that getting a tattoo is not on the list for boosting your immune system. It kicks in trying to heal it, I figure. You don't need my permission to go get a new tattoo, Ryan. Just go get your new tattoo. But yeah, I suppose it sort of works in that sense. Weird. Saw this list this morning, had to share it with my buddy Hans. He and I share a distaste for certain types of people. Like many of you, I'm sure. A list of hobbies that seem to attract extremely pretentious people. I'm sure that you've got someone in your life that maybe you're friends with. Maybe you're not that close. You know, you're casual friends. You know, maybe it's a guy up the street that because you're in the neighborhood and your kids are friends, you get along with him, but you don't really necessarily like the guy. Maybe she's, you know, at your gym or in your yoga class, whatever it is, and you sort of stomach hanging out with her because she's nice to your other friends or something like that, but she's got something about her you just can't stand. These are some hobbies that seem to attract super pretentious people. You know what they are. I don't think any of these things on this list are going to surprise anyone. Right at the top, cycling. Yeah. You know the ones. You know the people. The Uber cyclists, the people that just, they think they're God's gift to the earth because they ride a bicycle. Best of luck to you with your bicycles on the roadways. Cyclists, number one on the list of hobbies that seem to attract extremely pretentious people. Meditators, people who meditate. Meditation. They say you wouldn't believe how narcissistic people get when they first start a spiritual practice. Yeah, I can believe it. Then they start talking about your chakras and your alignments and all this other stuff. And dude, if you want to do some breathing exercises in the dark with your eyes closed and you want to om and all that crap, have at it, man. But you're not better than anybody else. All right. Third on the list, around here, it's very popular, disc golf. I never even encountered disc golf till I moved here. I had no idea it existed. I mean, I had heard of, you know, Frisbee and all that stuff, but never even knew disc golf was a thing until I moved to Wisconsin 22 years ago. Somebody says, calm down, bro. You're throwing a Frisbee in the woods. It can't be that serious. I don't know, man. They got bags and they got special discs, and I got to give them credit. Some of these throws that I see on the internet are impressive. Around a corner, 400 yards, in the woods, don't hit a tree, ends up right in the basket. I'm not saying I'm doing it, but it is pretty impressive. Hobbies that seem to attract super pretentious people. This one, honestly, should be a little higher. Audiophiles. These are people like record collector people. You know, super duper nerd record collector people. They're very serious about their music. They say there's two types. Those who are curious for different and multiple sound signatures, and those who are snobs who only want the most pure experience the way the artist intended it. Look, there's nothing wrong with getting a good copy of the music, but let's not get too crazy here, okay? I did just fine for all those years with a Walkman and a couple of cassette tapes. I did okay. Hobbies that seem to attract extremely pretentious people. Pickleball on the list. Wine tasting. CrossFit. Oh, that one's obvious. The CrossFit people. The WOD. I'm doing a WOD. Equestrians on the list. Photographers. People that are really into there seems like everybody's doing photography now. Gamers making the list at number 12. We're talking about the real hardcore gamers that throw the remote control and freak out and refuse to log off, all that stuff. And then last on the list, there's several others on here, but I just kind of skipped around. These are hobbies that seem to attract super pretentious people. And I don't know, man, I like this one. It always blows my mind to see a beautiful charcuterie board. These are charcuterie board aficionados. A lot of people like to refer to them as an adult Lunchable. Get over yourself and pass the Swiss. I don't know, though, dude. That takes a lot of talent. I mean, I could throw some cheese and meat and pickles on a plate, But to make it look gorgeous the way that they do, that takes some talent. In the end, it all just sort of ends up a big mess. But to see it displayed beautifully, it's not bad. It's not bad. I just wish there was more room for like little signs to tell you what everything was. Because sometimes, you go in there and you're like, what kind of cheese is this? And then you got to wait for someone to tell you. Or you got to just hope it's okay. Hobbies that seem to attract pretentious people. Cycling right at the top. Go figure. Chevelle going to be at the Crosse Center on Saturday, January 24th, the second night of the RiverFront Revolt. Night number 1 is Friday the 23rd of January, featuring 311 Lit, Sick Puppies, and more. And then on Saturday night, Chevelle of Mice and Men and others. Head up to the Crosse Center website for more details.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
It was only a couple of days ago that we heard about Matt Khalil and his sledgehammer. Up until then, none of us really knew, right? It was kind of a secret. I mean, I'm guessing that some people knew, but the majority of us out here had no idea what was going on with that whole situation. Then his ex-wife went on some kind of podcast stream or some crap like that and started talking about his wiener and how it was like 2 Coke cans, maybe even a third, stacked on top of each other. And now, because of his new internet fame, Matt Khalil has been offered a job in the adult industry, of course. His life in the spotlight earlier last week. Former NFL player has a chance to cash in with his new fame. Former Vikings player was married to a woman named Haley, and she caused a stir last week when she revealed the size of his manhood. Said it was the true reason that they got divorced. Caused their split after 7 years of marriage. She said, that was the biggest factor. Love him, but he's my homie. No, because he's like 0.10 or 0.01% of the population. We've tried. Impossible unless you're going to be in tears type stuff. Talking about how big his wiener was. That's why it's kind of funny. It's like my life is a comedy, and it kind of writes itself. Now, adult webcam site Cam Soda have ponied up $300,000 for Matt Khalil, the former Vikings player, to work with them. They say you've shown you can take hits on the field and off and still stand tall. Even when the claims are that rare, 0.01% of the population situation. That's exactly why we would like to offer you a $300,000 partnership to front our, quote, big confidence campaign. This campaign celebrates men who can laugh at themselves, own their story, and turn viral moments into empowerment. You would be featured in lighthearted, fun content about strength, positivity, and embracing life. And yes, all with unapologetic confidence. I don't think Matt Khalil's going to take him up on this offer, but if you don't have to, like, undress and you can get a nice little $300,000 paycheck out of the deal and everybody already knows your business, why wouldn't you? Cam Soda offering Matt Khalil $300,000 to work with them after his ex-wife revealed some naughty stuff about him. Take the money, man. Turn a negative into a positive. Maybe donate to charity or something like that if it makes you feel better. I don't think he's going to do it, but maybe. Offers out there, Matt Khalil. I'd take the money. But I'm also not Matt Khalil. No big surprise there. Bad News, Happy Music is coming up in a bit. RockMornings.com if you'd like to get in touch with me this morning.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at RockMornings.com.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril.
Now that's just nasty.
Add in some Haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
Remember that scene in Speed towards the end when they're on the train and he's like, I'm going to speed it up, make it jump the tracks. And that's kind of what happened, and they lived and kissed at the end and yada, yada, yada. Similar to that situation, other than the kissing and the jumping of the tracks, this light rail operator apparently fell asleep and sped up the train, and it almost jumped the tracks. This apparently happened in September in San Francisco, and the video just came out, so that's why it's in the news now. But a light rail train flew into a curve at a high rate of speed and severely jolted a bunch of the passengers.
I'm sorry. Relax. We didn't crash. Relax.
Yeah, you can hear there at the end, obviously, the light rail operator telling people to relax after she fell asleep and nearly crashed the train. It was going about 50 miles an hour. Obviously, passengers knew something wasn't right, took out their phones, started recording. That is way higher, by the way, than the average speed of 8 to 10 miles an hour. The operator of the light rail train in San Francisco apparently dozing off. You can see the driver slumped over in the video before being shaken awake by the rough turn. The driver jolts awake, begins to regain control, slowing the train to a stop. Passengers screaming, shrieking, freaking out. Driver opening up the door, saying, I'm sorry, relax, relax, relax. We didn't crash, relax. The train, of course, did not derail, but passengers were very concerned that it might have. Emergency crews were dispatched to the scene. Most passengers okay. Some bumps and bruises. One person claims they slammed their head so hard they were treated for a concussion. Obviously, there was an investigation. Officials confirmed that the cause was operator fatigue. Also said the operator has been placed on non-driving status. Don't these things have, like, systems in place where if it gets out of control, it starts braking automatically? I mean, if it averages 8 to 10 miles an hour, it's got to have some kind of GPS system on it, right? Where they can tell it's going around a corner soon and maybe it should hit the brakes. They say that safety is a priority. They've committed to accountability, say they're reinforcing existing training, yada, yada, yada. I don't know, man. Maybe it's time to upgrade your light rails there a little bit. Maybe some kind of system in place in case the driver does fall asleep again. Hey, look, man, I get in the passenger seat of the car when the wife's driving. I'll fall asleep. It happens all the time. No doubt about it. But that's why she's driving and I'm not. It's the best way to do it. Getting chauffeured around. I like to take my naps. Non-driving status. So, yeah, working in the office. Excess of speed of 50 miles an hour. That sounds a little fast to be handling those curves. A little bit fast. Good news for fans of the McRib. It's coming back. Bad news for the fans of the McRib. It's only in select cities.
Looks like Daddy's bringing home the barbecue. A big sack of McDonald's McRib sandwiches. Grilled pork and that sassy sauce. Tempting, huh? Like a barbecue in a barn without the bones. And with a big icy Coke, it's, well, you're only human, huh, Daddy? Chomp. The good time, great taste of McDonald's McRib for limited time. Only at McDonald's.
Yeah, McRib is back, but it's only in participating cities that include Miami, Dallas, Cleveland, St. Louis, Atlanta, Seattle, L.A., and Chicago. So if you want to get a McRib, you might have to drive to Chicago. You can check out the locator on the website, I believe, to find out where the McRib's at. But it's back for a mysteriously short amount of time. They say the mysterious McRib is making an appearance at this McDonald's starting today, which was yesterday, but apparently only in select cities and only for a limited time. There's a guy in New Mexico charged in a double homicide, who told the deputies there that a cockroach told him to kill. So you've got the son of Sam in New York back in the day who was told by the barking dog to kill people. And now this guy apparently has got a cockroach telling him to kill people. Alexis Hernandez facing 2 open counts of murder in connection with an incident last Friday. Allegedly admitted to deputies that he fatally shot 2 people inside the home after receiving an encrypted message in a cockroach that he, quote, needed to kill. Alexis Hernandez arrested, charged with 2 open counts of murder in connection with the incident on Friday inside the home in southwest Albuquerque, New Mexico. Booked into the detention center. Authorities have not yet identified the men that were killed in the incident or the 2 young children who were also found inside the home at the time. Deputies responding to reports of gunfire just after 10:30 p.m. This guy had a firearm in his waistband, Marine Corps saber in his hip. Hernandez immediately detained, told deputies he was in the Marines and had to do what he had to do. Then allegedly stated there were 2 dead bodies inside the residence, once inside the home. The deputies found 1 dead man with possible gunshot wounds in front of the house and a second man with apparent stab wounds in an attached apartment. 2 children were found inside the home, safely removed. This guy said a cockroach told him to do it. Ugh. That's not good. Not good at all. Elsewhere in the bad news with happy music, a daycare worker in Texas is accused of biting a 3-year-old child after the child allegedly bit another kid at the youth center.
Ow! Ow, Charlie! Ow! Charlie! That really hurt! No, Charlie bit me.
Yeah, so this kid bit another kid at daycare, which probably happens a lot. And then the teacher, frustrated with the kid who did the biting, bit the kid who did the biting. That's one way to solve the problem. Elijah Daniel, arrested last week, charged with felony injury to a child. She was caught on surveillance camera at the Little Angels of May Pearl Daycare in Ellis County, sinking her teeth into the arm of a young child. The police captain said she was very aggressive, very angry, very aggressive. Reaches out, grabs the student by the arm, pulls him towards her, then places his arm in her mouth. And at that time, you can see a look of anguish or pain come across the child's face, and you know something is not right with it. Ugh. CPS, Child Protective Services, got the report in October about the biting incident and started to investigate. Surveillance footage uncovered during the investigation is what led to her arrest, urging other parents to come forward if their children experience similar injuries or attacks. A staff member confirmed that she is no longer an employee of the daycare. The family of the boy that she is accused of biting said that their kid has been emotionally affected by the incident, confused by what happened. Hope he gets justice in some way. She was released on bond, awaiting her next court hearing. But yeah, you can't go around biting kids. Just really can't do that, especially at the Little Angels daycare center there. Not good. Not good. Last but not least, I don't know how it got into my algorithm, but I've been obsessed with watching prank videos, like bike prank videos, where like thieves are trying to steal bicycles and they're rigged in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's the fake seat, so when they sit on it, the post goes right up their ass. There's another one where it's like chained up and they don't realize the chain, and so they start to ride off on it, and then the bike gets yanked out from underneath them. It's always very funny to watch. The other video that I've been getting a lot in my algorithm is porch pirates and exploding packages. Not to harm, but just to hit them with the die pack, similar to like a bank robber. You know, you get the bag of cash, you get in the car to get away, and then you open it up, and boom, the die pack goes off, and then your car is all filled with pink or blue or whatever it is, and you're covered in it. I've been watching a lot of those videos as well on my reels. They're hilarious. Porch pirates going up to steal packages off of people's front stoop. Next thing you know, they get to the car, and then bam, the thing goes off, and it's just blue mist everywhere. They're covered in it. Their car, it's all over their face. It's hilarious. I find it absolutely hilarious. That didn't happen in this case, but a porch pirate got pinched. A cross-dressing porch pirate, in fact.
We believe that the suspect had originally left the state and received information that they were possibly coming back into the state while we were sitting there lying in wait. A couple of things that kind of stuck out to us that helped solve this crime was A, was the vehicle, and I think B, obviously the more important, was this person's particular look. We were trying to understand whether this person was dressing for Halloween or if this is the way they normally dress.
Yeah, so this is a 46-year-old guy from Mississippi. His name is Todd Bond, B-O-N-D, Bond, Todd Bond. He was arrested after multiple porch thefts in Mississippi and in Alabama. This guy's crossing over state lines to steal packages. One house they stumbled upon, he stumbled upon a massive treasure. The house had at least a dozen packages on the porch. This guy made repeated trips from the porch to the car to snatch every single package, a dozen or more packages. This guy making multiple trips back and forth to his car to make sure he got all of it. This was all caught on the homeowner's camera. And at the time, Todd Bond was dressed as a woman. Had some long hair, some lipstick, some clothing, obviously, bleached hair, had a headband, some makeup, and a skirt on. He was arrested, charged with first-degree theft of property.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
That haul happened a couple of weeks ago, just before Halloween, so investigators aren't sure if this guy was wearing a costume or if this is how he always dresses or if it was some kind of disguise so that he could go around and steal people's packages.
Well, I don't want to be a pirate.
But one more porch pirate off the streets momentarily in Alabama and Mississippi, crossing over state lines. If you're going to get that many packages, I mean, wouldn't you have them delivered to work? Wouldn't you be home knowing they're coming in that day? That's a lot. Don't you have something in your neighborhood or something in your house, one of those like boxes that they can put the packages in so they can't get stolen? And that's a lot. You know, you order one thing here, one thing there, and maybe it disappears from the front step. That sucks, but it's not as bad as losing a dozen packages. That's a lot. It's a lot of Christmas presents right there. I'm sure they got all their stuff back, though, after they caught this guy in the skirt. Bad news, happy music. We'll get to our daily check-ins after 6 a.m.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us. Check. We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
RockMornings.com is the website. You can also download the two apps, the 95.7 The Rock app and the 92.9 The X app, and get in touch with us that way. Submit voicemails, pictures, videos. Always good to hear from you guys. Speaking of pictures, I got a whole bunch this morning from people texting in with pictures of the Northern Lights. Got one from Wendy, said they were from about 7 to 8 this morning in Ferryville. Beautiful pictures. Oh, excuse me, last night, 7 to 8 last night. Duh, would have been bright out. But these were from Ferryville last night. Very beautiful pictures, Wendy. Thank you very much. Another Wendy texted in, said, good morning. You can't really see the lights just looking at the sky, but when you take a picture with your phone, amazing. She sent in pictures that were taken at about 5 a.m. from Dresbach. Purple and magenta and green in there. Just lovely. Thank you very much, Wendy and Wendy. Rudy sent in some shots from near Trempealeau. Looks like an alien invasion. He's got like a corn silo in one of the pictures, and right behind it is all the Northern Lights. And just absolutely beautiful pictures. Thank you very much, Rudy. Jim texted in, said, I saw the Southern Lights, LOL. Jim, of course, listening in Georgia. Thank you, Jim, for the laughs. Sarah sent in some pictures, one from Shakopee last night. Same kind of thing. The magenta, the pink, the purpley color there. Cheryl and Hank also texting in pictures. Ryan texted earlier. We were talking about some tips from doctors on how to battle flu and cold season to boost your immune system. He said, I'm disappointed that getting a tattoo is not on the list for boosting your immune system. It kicks in trying to heal it, I figure. Again, I recommend if you want to get a tattoo, just get one. You don't necessarily need a reason. Danny texted in and said that George Street McDonald's has the McRib right now. That's, of course, in La Crosse. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate that. I am not a fan of the McRib. I never tried it until like a couple of years ago, and then I tried it, and it wasn't for me. Not my jam. To each their own. I know some people are obsessed with them. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm fine with a Big Mac. Doc also texting in saying, I laugh my freaking ass off at Porch Pirates getting die-packed. Justice, bitches. Yeah, that is the one nice thing about the algorithm, right? A lot of times you get stuck with videos or, stuff that you're not interested in for whatever. They just want to feed it to you. But if you stop and you pause long enough on certain videos and certain things, they'll just feed you all that stuff. The algorithm, it's really nice. And that's what I've been watching a lot of lately is the prank bike videos, where, again, they're set up to catch people who are trying to steal the bicycle, and then they get injured in some sort of way, which is always funny for me. Yes, I'm sadistic. And then there's also the porch pirate people who try to steal packages, and then the die pack goes off, and they just get this huge cloud of blue smoke all up in their grill. It's so funny. Thanks, Doc. Appreciate it. Thanks to everybody else who texted in and emailed and all that stuff this morning. I appreciate it. Good to hear from you. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Talk to you tomorrow.